this election was hacked. And when I say hacked, it wasn't, give me a break with CNN. It wasn't widespread. You don't rob all the banks in a city. You rob the bank that has the money where you can get away. They didn't rob all the election systems. They hacked the ones that would swing the election. And that's what they're trying to do. So look, you got to fight back on this, but you're right to put it in context. It's 1776. Right now, we've lost a lot of battles, and we're sitting in Valley Forge looking over at Trenton, and people are saying, damn, it's cold. But you know what? You got to get in, you got to go, because either we're going to come out the other side shining forth and free, or you're going to be broken, and we're going to be talking about how to send secret signals to each other, you know, because we can't be communicating other ways. And I don't think that's an exaggeration. I think we're on the brink of a dark age, or we're on the brink of a golden age. And right now, it's up for grabs.
Ed Martin's been coming on the show for probably 16, 17 years. It's been too long, been a few years. He is the president of Phyllis Schlafly's amazing Eagle Forum. He's also an attorney, works on the Republican National Committee. I can't go over his whole bio, it would take hours. Twitter, at Eagle Ed Martin. Parler, at Ed Martin, edmartinlive.com. Ed, we got a few minutes of this segment, longer segment coming up, but what would you describe this moment in history that we're in right now? It's just so epic with CNN, everybody gaslighting, saying there's no evidence of fraud, and now not just InfoWars, but OAN and Newsmax need to be silenced. I mean, these people are the bad guys. It's unbelievable.
No, it is, Alex, and I got to tell you, I'm excited to be back on with you. It has been too long. You know, my old mentor, the late Phyllis Schlafly, she enjoyed being on with you, your program. She also thought you were fighting so often exactly the way we needed it. So thanks for doing that. Look, it's a battle for the Republic. What we know now, Alex, and you've been talking about it for decades, I mean, really, the corruption in this country, the rot in our institutions. Well, first we thought it was just, you know, sort of the corporate control over us. Then we thought it was the media. Then we thought it was the deep state. Now we see it's the elections. And if we don't save this election, you can't say the Republic advances the same way, because we quite literally, we then are really ruled by the people who game the system, who are corrupt in the system. So, you know, Ali and I stood down there. You were there with us, 500,000 people at least in D.C. that understand what we the people want. But I got to tell you, all your listeners, all your viewers, all the people that hear this on whatever, you know, secondary media, they've got to understand the moment. It truly is a get to the vanguard moment, because we lose this one and we're losing something we won't be able to get back.
In fact, let me ask you both this. In fact, it was a question I was thinking about asking you before you came on. Is this the end of the Republic? No, I think it's a crippling, and then we have to fight truly as a rebel force, and they're going to come after all of us, which I know we will surmount and win. It'll make us stronger, but we really need to mobilize now, because the enemy has taken the gloves off, and they are really coming for our blood. What would you describe this moment if they're able to steal this election that's Chi-Com backed? I mean, I think this is a foreign occupation force of China with MSM and the liberals. I mean, I think it's an illegal occupation force, Ollie.
I think it's a refounding of America. That's the opportunity. If they do steal this and they take over the infrastructure and the institutions, there is an opportunity to call forth those moral arguments, the same ones.
So we're going to have to execute 1776. It'll have to commence again.
Well, I don't know. But what I do know is that smart men, Newt Gingrich, ourselves, other people, are going to get together and say, what are our options endowed to us by God? And those are the legitimate options. And then we will find our legal options. And I'm telling you, I'm not going to live under oppression. End of story.
That's right. Compliance and submission is basically supporting it.
But Alex, and here's the good thing. But before you add, is we're the majority. Spoiler alert, we're the majority, and now we've demonstrated that. How come we've had 2 consecutive weeks of Stop the Steal rallies in 50 state capitals? And
how come we almost won the House back? How come we kept the Senate despite all the fraud?
Where are the Biden rallies? Where are the Biden rallies?
They're in their death throes. We'll talk about next segment. Ed, go ahead.
Well, what I want to say, though, is this. I want to be a little bit less optimistic than Ali. If we lose this right now, what the powers that be have done is look for a way to take us down for about 4 years. They tried the Russia hoax. They tried silencing Alex and everybody else.
Now they got the COVID. They're going to put us under martial law.
Exactly. They got COVID. They're trying. The Ukraine tried. And if they can break us this way, don't think that Susan Rice and the guys that get back in control are going to go softer this time. I don't care. Tom Cotton Biden went on TV and said, we'll never confirm Susan Rice. Who the hell cares who's confirmed by the Senate if they're sitting in the Oval Office unmasking Americans? And frankly, Alex, all we've ever heard is unmasking. Do you really think Obama and the Oval Office, the folks hatching that plan, stopped at unmasking? Or do you think they were destroying Americans? Of course they were using all the force and unleash Biden in his bunker and Kamala and the gang. And yeah, we'll fight back, but it's a much more daunting than just, oh, we got banned on Twitter. No, they're coming with a force of government, and they'll come in for you and me, Ali, and every other person who puts their head up.
And there's such arrogant, crazy, doddering people led by Biden. They're going to go for broke. In fact, Ed, stay there. I want to talk about this because they are saying they want to burn us down. They want to level the Trump supporters. They want siege. They want to break the American people. They want to make us go on welfare. They want to control us. And this is that process of breaking that they say they're about to do with the Great Reset. It's worked everywhere else, so why shouldn't they try it here? This is the great moment of truth. I'm optimistic on one side, but I'm also very, very dire on the other. That's why everybody must mobilize in these key states straight ahead. So let's talk about what's about to happen if they win and how we stop that with Ed Martin, Ali Alexander, and your host, Alex Jones. Infowars.com, newswars.com, tomorrow's news today. And don't forget to share the links to band.video. Back at the start of the war in 1776, an already very accomplished naval captain who'd fought for the British and others, John Paul Jones, was really a Scot. He changed his name to Jones to hide his identity, was off the coast and was fighting a frigate about 3 times his size, and he was beginning to sink. And the British soldier yelled over his bullhorn, not a mechanical one, but a hailing device, and said, "Give up, we'll give you quarter." And he said, "Quarter? Surrender, I've only begun to fight." We were in a much better position than John Paul Jones. He ended up taking over the other ship, even though his ship sunk. That's the founder of the U.S. Navy. We've only begun to fight. Ed Martin, get into the big picture. I know Trump is set to come out and expose that this is a Chi-Com-led operation. This is literally the takeover of our country. And then Biden means to put us under permanent martial law. Bill Gates, the UN, Schwab of the Davos Group have all said this is a permanent lockdown. Klaus Schwab. I mean, this is so draconian. People are really starting to freak out. They're really starting to get it. This is a UN corporate world government Chi-Com takeover. You're a smart lawyer, head of the Eagle Forum, been on the Republican National Committee, highest levels. Tucker Carlson sounds like Alex Jones now. It's not us making this up. This was in the shadows before. We were worried. The UN had this on the drawing board. Now the New York Times says the UN should intervene and run our elections. I mean, they're really making their move, using the virus as the fear to control us, and they as the good guys, even though Fauci and Gates are involved with the virus at the Wuhan lab. So give us the inside, intel from your sources about what we're really facing.
Well, listen, first of all, the late Phyllis Schlafly, she was the first person in 1964. She wrote a book, A Choice, Not an Echo, in which she said the corruption in the Republican Party is being dominated by the East Coast elites. And she referred to the Bilderbergers for the first time. She, like you, Alex, recognized the globalist movement. It's world communism, but it's also world globalist wealth and control is on the move. And again, sometimes when you have the most progress, Donald Trump has given us the most progress. He's exposed how the globalist movement wanted to control our media. They wanted to control our jobs. They wanted to control our deep state. There you go. All these things that are being controlled by the globalists. COVID kicks in, and you see the healthcare is going to be run out of the UN and other world organizations. We make all this progress with Trump, and now they're saying, watch us undercut that, and we'll take you back faster to the dark ages that you never recognized. It'll be almost like you took 1 step forward and 10 back, because if Trump doesn't hold the line here and we don't expose the corruption, look, what people are saying about this, Alex, is that this election was hacked. And when I say hacked, it wasn't, give me a break with CNN, it wasn't widespread. You don't rob all the banks in a city. You rob the bank that has the money where you can get away. They didn't rob all the election systems. They hacked the ones that would swing the election. And that's what they're trying to do. So look, you got to fight back on this, but you're right to put it in context. It's 1776. Right now, we've lost a lot of battles. battles, and we're sitting in Valley Forge looking over at Trenton, and people are saying, damn, it's cold. But you know what? You got to get in, you got to go, because either we're going to come out the other side shining forth and free, or you're going to be broken, and we're going to be talking about how to send secret signals to each other, you know, because we can't be communicating other ways. And I don't think that's an exaggeration. I think we're on the brink of a dark age, or we're on the brink of a golden age. And right now it's up for grabs.
And they admit that. They say at Davos, we're creating a new feudalist system. We're going to make you poor for your own good. We're going to depopulate you. But they have jumbo jets and live on top mountaintops and have 50,000 acre palatial manors. I mean, these people are crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, again, you said something there. Follow the money, Alex. It's always about the money. You watch, you know, 2 days ago, Karl Rove announces he's going to raise $100 million to fight for Georgia Senate seats. And if you're normal, you say, what the hell does that mean? We got a presidential fight on our hands. And you know why? Because the $100 million that's raised by Karl Rove, Alex, it gets spent $100 million worth on media buys, on consultants, on employees. And we, the people, are here saying we're about to lose our president because no one will stand up and fight. Karl Rove or anybody else who cares about we, the people, would be in the trenches and stop the steal. They'd be in the trenches right now calling for the impeachment of the governor of Georgia or the secretary of State of Georgia.
Instead, they're on the sidelines. Thank God that Newt Gingrich, who's a historian, has said this is the end of the country potentially. And this is the worst thing he's seen in his life. I mean, that's what this is. And we should see Karl Rove standing up. But instead, he's like George W. Bush and the rest of them. They're all sitting on the sidelines laughing because they're globalists.
Yeah, well, but importantly, Alex, one of the great gifts of this time is we're sort of seeing everybody come out from behind the curtain, right? I mean, even you and I could have sat down and we would have said, is the media this bad? And you and I would have said, we think Fox News is bad too, but well, I don't know. Now we see it, right?
No, I totally agree. It's worse than I thought it would be. The total alignment of disinfo is shocking. Their discipline of fraud is unprecedented.
And also the exposure, for example, of the deep state, right? 5 years ago, you and I would have talked about the deep state. We would have had all these assert. Now we see the FBI was broken, right? We see the Department of Justice totally broken. People we should be devastated by these institutions. But the point is, one guy's been at the head of the spear. It's not his movement. You know, there was one Washington, there's one Trump. It's not the end of the army. But we've got to realize if we walk away from Washington, if you walk away from Trump, you're walking away from the future. From Washington on, we had America. From Trump on, if we walk away from him, what do we get? And
we have to rally for Trump and ourselves in this bulwark. And the enemy knows. You know, just a week ago, they thought they were invincible. They're scared now. They're freaking out. They know we're going to win these cases, but we've just got to hit the streets, all 50 capitals, starting Georgia tomorrow. Ed, other key battleground areas with your Eagle Forum analysis you think we need to be at?
Well, I think Pennsylvania, I think it's the big five, right? Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. You mentioned Georgia, also Arizona. Look, you know, when you look at this election, when they realized, again, the plan was not one facet. The globalists, all these people, they got multiple ways they do it. They were looking at the election. They're stealing absentees. They're stealing mail, and they're stealing this. Then they looked and they said, oh, we might still get beat. They went to 5 big cities. They said Atlanta, Philadelphia, Michigan, Detroit, Milwaukee, and Maricopa County. Flip the steel, turn it on, baby, crank it up, and they did it. So we got to be focused like a laser. I'll take California. We could do that another year. We'll take them back. Right now, it's Pennsylvania. It's a big one. Michigan's a big one. Wisconsin right now, and Maricopa, where the illegals and the leftists have tried to change the whole country in one county. I've got reports, Alex, of planes landing in the morning of November 4th. I see the manifest from Seoul, South Korea into Maricopa County, and whistleblowers with eyes on ballots in bags. I'm telling you, this isn't hard to figure out. This game is on, and we got to stick to those 5 places and be on our game, because we got 5 legislatures that can be heroic. They can be the founding fathers of the next American Golden Age, or we can make them traitors for the rest of their lives and history if they walk away. I
totally agree. Ed Martin, thank you so much. At Eagle Ed Martin on Twitter, Parler, at Ed Martin, edmartinlive.com. Join us again, and then tomorrow, Owen Schroyer is going to be hosting. I'll be calling in live from demonstrations, but join us again with updates the next few days. Ed, it's been too long. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Alex. Thanks, Allie.
We'll do one more segment with you, my friend, and we're going to hang out, get ready, and then get packed up, and I'm going to try to cut some promos to pay the bills around here. I want to thank the listeners, and then we're going to get on a plane and fly out to Atlanta, and I'm going to go take a look at the Capitol tonight. Probably won't be out there until like 8 or 9 by the time we get there, and just try to reconnoiter the situation. But what are we going to cover in this final segment coming up?
You know, that sent chills through my spine. There's an opportunity right now to be a part of the recommitment to Christian liberty, that shining city on the hill that protects the most vulnerable around the world, but us first, them second, or we assign ourselves to slavery to the Chi-Coms. It's just that simple. And so all of these guys, I'm so proud to be working with you, Alex, and you, Ed. We've got to rush the gates. We've got to be the barbarians that rush the gates in the castle, or we're all dead. It's really that simple. So I'm signing my death warrant. It's liberty or it's death. Alex, I think you're in the same boat.
Oh, I'm way past. I'm total commitment. Every cell in my body is commanding me to take action.
Boom!
I'm not in control. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Key intel straight ahead. Then a whole hour of your calls and the Great Reset news. The globalists are trying to censor what you can see and what you can share. Don't let them win. Go to our emergency election newsletter at Infowars.com/newsletter. Sign up for free and get intel they don't want you to have, and then share it. Infowars.com/newsletter. It's time to override the censors and get the truth out. The crisis is here. The Republic is fighting for its life. But thanks to your support of Infowars, we are still on air, and in many ways stronger than ever, exposing the globalist. Our credibility is higher than ever because we accurately predicted what was unfolding and what was happening. Infowars was supposed to be off the air before the globalists stole the election. They've already censored everybody off the internet, but we built our own independent system with radio and TV satellites and hundreds of radio and TV affiliates. And of course, we built Infowars.com, Newswars.com, and Band.video that are reaching millions upon millions of people a day thanks to you. So you've invested in Infowars, and I'm asking you to invest again with word of mouth, with your prayer, and with your financial support while getting great products at the same time at InfoWarsStore.com. Just like the political information we cover is dynamite and game-changing and incredibly accurate, the supplements and nutraceuticals we sell at InfoWarsStore.com are one of a kind. BioTrue Selenium, totally essential for your body, amazing, the highest quality selenium you're going to find. The PQQ, the CoQ10, and other ingredients in DNA Force Plus are the best you're going to find out there. They clean up your telomeres, your mitochondria, your very cells. DNA Force Plus, back in stock, 50% off. We have the ultimate turmeric formula, Bodies, 95% curcuminoid. Other competitors are 3 to 5%, still have great results. Look into Bodies, ultimate turmeric formula, and then decide to purchase it to support yourself and your family's health and the InfoWar. Knockout, the incredible sleep aid, 50% off. Turbo Force, 50% off. The incredible clean 10-hour energy pack, Turbo Force, back in stock, 50% off, free shipping, triple Patriot points. Ultimate Krill Oil, 33% off. Alpha Power for stamina, libido, energy, focus. It's got so many key compounds. Look into Alpha Power for yourself. Back in stock after a year, InfoWarsStore.com. As Americans, we tend to think of ourselves as invincible. We think our republic's always been here and we're the best in the world just because we won some major battles and been a global power. No, my friends, that makes us that much weaker because all of these powerful interests are attacking us. What makes us strong is realizing our Christian ethos of free market capitalism and Renaissance and the Enlightenment and coming together and understanding we're under attack. And then that makes us almost next to invincible if we have God's Spirit supporting us. But I can tell you, regardless of what happens to President Trump, you are our sponsors. You are our underwriters. Without you, we're not going to be on air. So I've never written an ad copy like this in 27 years on air. I'm going to read it right now to you because it's just the truth. It's what I just wrote minutes ago. America is in crisis. Emergency lockdown 2 is coming under Biden. Support InfoWars in the fight against total economic collapse and Biden's martial law disguised as lockdown 2. up to 60% off, plus free shipping and triple Patriot points and more at InfoWarsStore.com on every major product we've got. DNA Force Plus, Alpha Power back in stock, Body's Ultimate Turmeric Formula, Ultra 12, Vitamin Mineral Fusion, Kava Chill, Super Male Vitality, Super Female, and so many other amazing products. These are game-changing things that the globalists don't want you to have. These are things that are absolutely elemental to what you and your body have to live. But regardless, buying these products from us funds the InfoWars, so it's a 360 win. I want to thank you all for your support. I want to ask you to redouble your efforts to spread the word. I want to ask you to buy the products at InfoWarsStore.com today, because without you, we won't be on the air. Again, I salute you and thank you all. The toll-free number is 888-253-3139. Please take action today in our emergency cell.